First bite of the day. See if we can get him on a follow-up. So we are out here on a completely new stretch of the Wisconsin River. Honestly, this stretch looks like what dreams are made of. We've got it divided up into a shorter float first, and I think we might move a car down and do the longer float, which is like 12-ish miles if it's super good. When I picture the Wisconsin River, like this is the river I have in mind. This is the kind of river that I want to fish. You can already see we've got grass. We've got lots of current here. We're just beneath a dam, but this current does maintain itself further downstream. We've got huge rocks in the center channel that you guys are gonna see. This is basically what I call like a smallmouth playground, and I'm super pumped to be here. I don't have too much else to say. I want to catch this fish and get on it, but we'll see. I don't think this is going to be the only fish, but I'd love to start out on a positive note and get this guy in the boat. So I'm going to throw the jig up there, see if we can get him to bite one more time. I'm telling you, there's going to be some rockfish today. Behind the rockfish, that is. There's a behind the rockfish. Come on up, buddy. All right, on the board. Not a giant, but in a classic smallmouth spot. Center channel, boulder, isolated, right behind it. Tried the front side, nothing. Tried the back side, bam.
My side of the river.
That's not your side, that's in the middle. I'm just getting the 17s out of your way. Good one to start. Let's go run up there and take a closer look, but I'm pretty sure he was like directly behind it, so using the current brake completely. Wasn't riding the seam, wasn't riding the edge. So I switched to a little underspin here. This water, always brown. It's got the tannic stain, which doesn't mean that it's necessarily dirty, but we did get a decent amount of rain yesterday, so it is a little on the dirty side, but there's still enough clarity by far for the fish to come after something, but I think a little blade wouldn't hurt. Just look at this place, guys. Absolutely beautiful. I'm in love right off the bat. The fishing is really good. This may turn into one of my favorite stretches of river ever. Fished that rock on top. Went back in with a swim bait. Just kind of sleeping, to be honest. Not too big. 17, 16 something, 17. They're thick though for that size. Give you guys another look at it here. Both strikes have been me actually bringing it from the top down around one of the sides, bumping into stuff. So for example, kind of casting over it to where my line gets on top of it. Maybe not bringing it directly over, but trying to get it over on that left side or right side. But both of those fish were on the left side, not that that really matters. That also gives the bait time to sink down. So one reason you guys will see me continue to throw a whopper plopper, even though it's kind of clear that they're not super hot on it, or they're short striking it, or I'm not catching that many fish, and that reason is it's just a fish locator. So when you see them swirl or come up and peck at it, then you at least know where they are. So if you're not able to catch that fish on a follow-up, you're at least able to pattern them in some way based on their location when they hit the whopper plopper. So it's really hard for me to take this off for that reason alone, but it's also super fun to catch fish on, as you guys know. Wanted it. Probably too close now, but we'll see. Oh, I had him. Got him again. Couldn't resist. Feisty, goodness. Healthy fish though. That's a little bigger. That'll be funny. Absolute bruiser there, guys. Bruiser. Not very graceful. Figured the white would play out here with this watercolor. All right, let's go take a look at where it was. So between this triangle of 3 rocks here, got a nice little current funnel coming right down through the middle. So it's a little bit different than the current breaks I've been catching them on, where it's like completely blocked. In this case, we have a redirection of most of the current coming down right here through the middle. And I threw directly into this stuff right here, the moving stuff, and as it floated back, I got hit here. So wasn't necessarily tight to a current break, but was kind of letting a reduced flow area concentrate the current into one spot for it to be in a feeding position. So one thing to always be aware of when you're fishing a new stretch of river like this, like I am today, we have to pay attention to how the river character changes as we move down. So obviously up there we have a ton of rock, a lot of good flow, isolated boulders out in the center channel, and it's really slowed down right through here. Not a lot of rock, softer bottom, but we do have laydowns. So we're gonna kind of compare how many bites we get in this stuff versus like the rocky, fast flowing areas, and that allows us to develop a pretty good pattern for the day. And more than that, the more that you fish this river, you can start to establish seasonal patterns. So in the summer, they're here in this section of the river that has this specific character. As we move into fall, they change to this, and vice versa. You know, spring, summer, whatever it may be, you're going to be able to pinpoint kind of where fish are concentrated in each section of river based on your studying earlier in the year. A lot of water coming down through here. There's a little creek that's kind of dry. Well, it's not dry, but it's moist. Doesn't have any flowing water. There's a little bit right there. Always want to check beneath these spots. Tend to be a little bit cooler. Gotcha. Is that a bass or a muskie? It's a bass. It's a very big bass. Oh, it's a bass. Come on up. Come on up. Pay us a visit. Oh, that's a tank. Get it. Oh, that is an absolute giant, guys. Thought it was a muskie. Ate it like a muskie. Just where there was a little current seam. Just starting as a really slow, deep turn. There's a little seam right at the very end of it, at the top of this eddy here. That is a long river fish. Jeez. Goodness gracious. That's definitely over 20. Come on, give me a 21, baby. Give me a 21. $21 on the board here on the crescent. Gosh. So another similar setup to back there, although this is rock coming out. It's almost like a wing dam if you've ever fished the Mississippi up around La Crosse, but these are natural. So a little rock point coming out, a little current seam pushing off of it, and then behind it, a little bit of slack. See if we can find another one there. Yep. Oh my God. This might not be 21, but it's heavier. Goodness gracious. Freaking tank. Oh, okay. Up here. Gosh. Still got one hook. Dang old pile of meat. Look at how tall that thing is. That thing's heavy. 19 1/4. Thing is freaking 4 1/2 easy. Part of exploring new stretches is also kind of imagining what it would be like at different water levels. So water up just a foot. It's going to put a lot of this bank over here. It's got a lot of undercut bank. A lot of that stuff is in play again when the water's up 1 foot. So when you keep that in mind, you look at the river gauge for like today and say, okay, it's definitely not happening at this river level, but you come back when it is up a foot, you keep an eye on it. Now you know exactly where to go check. Whoa, whoa, where'd you come from, buddy? Got him. I think it's just more of a fun size. Double.
Oh sure, fish in my fucking spot after I showed you where they were.
That's a certified tank. Oh, he came off. So even though I played that fish a little too confidently there, getting my anchor down, caught them right in an area where there was a change of character in the river. So up above here, there was a little bit of a gradient change. We started to get a lot more current. It wasn't too deep though, and while it was still rocky, the depth really, I think, was the biggest factors. And probably the most important piece of information, we have a big boulder field downstream of us with all the same current flowing through it. So fish will get up in these spots above those fields and roam out in the center channel. Pretty tight to the rock, looks like. It was a Senko stealer, got him this time. Why did you feel so big? You ready to come in the boat, bud? Whoa, there's another big smallie. Oh, I wish you guys could have seen that eat. I don't think the camera's pointing over there. That's cool. Hanging out in a little shade pocket. Not a bad one. That's a giant. Oh no. Get out of there. Goodness. Not even that big, hooked in the side. That was a lot of work. All right guys, so we are at a rapids here and quite a big drop down that side of the river. So we're gonna go walk out and see if we can sneak around this without going over a 5-foot drop down to the next section. That's a tank. That is a freaking tank. That is a freaking giant. Oh my god. This one's got to be 5 pounds. Alright, things have slowed down a little bit, guys, but this is almost another 21. This is a freaking giant. Thing has to weigh 5 pounds. It is so heavy. Just right up off a little submerged, isolated boulder, I'm guessing. There's a little current seam up right up ahead of me. He's bringing it over that, and I'm pretty sure he hit it on the top side. So this water is actually really shallow over here on the left. And so this is a nice little funnel of all of this water. Up there, the current is kind of slow. You can see there's a little bit of change on the surface, and then as you get closer to me, there's a little bit more surface disturbance, there's a little more rock, there's a little bit of a gradient change, and the current is increasing. And as we go further down, there's a gradient change as well, because there's a big set of rapids coming up here. So we're kind of in that section above a rapids, right where there's a change where the slower water is changing to the faster water. So there's a couple of these isolated boulder spots out here in this funnel. It's a big funnel because on either side of the river channel, I think it's pretty shallow up by the bank. At least on this side it is. And then we have a funnel pushing all this water towards the center, and look at what we have here. Now that visible cover is not what I caught it on. It was something that was submerged, so water's flowing over it, creating that surface disturbance. Always have to keep an eye out for that stuff. Oh, we certainly caught a lot of fish on the downstream side. It doesn't hurt to try bringing things maybe up from the back up to the front and see if there's anything that'll chase and hit on that side, or it was there all along anyway. Always got to keep in mind that the bite changes throughout the day. Oh my goodness, I love rivers like this. This is 10 out of 10. Crazy, crazy beautiful. It's wild too. No, there's no houses out here. Can't hear any cars. The bald eagles flying around. Osprey. Oh, bald eagle's mad. Bald eagle's mad I'm taking this fish. Nice one. I will make this offering to you, bald eagle. Come and get it. So guys, when I say that this is a wild river, I don't mean like, wow, that's wild, dude. I mean, like, this is pure unadulterated nature. We are disconnected. No houses through here. We have nature all around us, just birds, the bugs, the wind, the water, the fish, all of the noises that get covered up by everything else, by the daily noise. We need more of that. And these kind of places bring us closer to those moments. And I know it's hard to find these areas, and sometimes you have to do a little work to get to them, but I can assure you that it's worth it. And Really, we need to value these places. We need to protect these places more than we do. We need to protect our water quality. We need to protect public lands, public access, public waters, all of this, so that not only we can enjoy it, but the people who come after us. Because as we go further into the future, the places like this that are still left in the world are continually shrinking. And frankly, you guys know I love rivers, but it's something that I find important. And I think everyone else needs to place a little more importance on finding peace like this so that they want to protect it as well. Oh, there's bait in there. There's bait in there. There's a lot of bait. Oh! Oh my God, he did it again. Nope, he broke my line. Finally got him. Here's another one.